Hey friend, this is Eric from Miller Music, and the other day I was recording a demo song and I was recording the guitar parts, and I decided that rather than use my tube amps, I would try and use the amp sims built right into Studio One. And I have to admit I was a little skeptical about this because I'm more of a traditionalist when it comes to recording guitars, but I was really surprised with the results. So in the video today, I want to show you three different things. I want to show you some of the sounds I was able to get using Ampire in Studio One. The second thing I want to show you is how I set that up really quickly. And then the third thing I want to show you is some of the benefits of using amp sims. All right, let's dive in. Okay, so the first thing I want to show you is just the sounds so you can hear them. In light blue up top, I have the rhythm guitar parts, and then in dark blue down below, I have the lead guitar. So here's the rhythm guitars. Here's the rhythm tracks. Okay, let's add in the lead so you can hear that now together. Okay, so now I want to just play it with all of the instruments in so you can hear it all together. Okay, so the second thing I want to show you is how I set this all up. Okay, so the very first track I recorded was the guitar part with a click track, and this was just to lay the foundation of the song. And what I did was I just recorded it once through on one track, and then after I recorded it, I copied and pasted it into another track and then put it onto a different amp and then panned them right and left. So over the two different amps that I chose, I wanted to go for this kind of clean sound. So I have a Fender kind of blackface tone. If you were just to hear that sound, let me mute out the Vox. And I have the Vox, so the Fender is on the left, the Vox is on the right. Here's the Fender. So it's a bit more of a clean tone. And then if I add the Vox in, so let's just hear the Vox by itself. The Vox is probably my favorite sound in the amps. This is just the Vox. And so it gives it a little bit of dirt, a little bit of grittiness, not really dirt, but more grittiness. I have it on this Brilliant section right here. If you look, it's kind of like that Brilliant plugin, that's where it is. In terms of pedals, I have the same exact pedals on both amps. Just for consistency, all I really have is the compressor, which I'm realizing now is turned off on the Fender amp. So the Fender amp is just, there actually is no effects on there. So it's just the Fender compressor was what you were hearing. And then the Vox has a little bit of the compressor here. It has a little bit of this fat, it's kind of like a rat sound. And then a little bit of delay and a little bit of reverb. I'm just going to go back to just the Vox setting, and then you're going to hear it with and without the effects, so without these pedals down here. So I'm going to turn off, sorry, that was disengaged. The fat channel was disengaged. So turn off the delay, reverb, and compressor. So this is just the Vox with nothing. Still a cool tone. Let me put the compressor on. Here's delay, and then a little reverb. So yeah, I really liked that sound. I was really impressed with it. Just to pull it up and immediately dial that in, that was really helpful. Let me show you some of the sounds that I was able to get with distorted channel. So you heard the lead channel, but there's like a rhythm channel kind of that I used. Let's pull that up. So I also used the Vox for that. And I have the Tube Dreamer, which is kind of like the Tube Screamer for that. Just a little bit of a compressor. So the same settings. Let's check it out with this kind of Tube Dreamer setting. So it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. And then the last thing that I did was, which I do for most of my recording guitars, is that I set all of them to a bus track. So you'll see down here, if you select this in Studio One, all of these are set to the bus 2 right there. So if you select them, you can right click and create a bus track. And so I made over here a guitar bus. And this is what I have inside of the bus track. Let me open this up so you can see it. So I just have a little bit of a Pro EQ here, just taking out some of the low ends just to prevent any muddiness. A little bit of a compression. So if I were to play this, you could see. So it's just a little bit, it's hitting that compressor. The attack is quick. So just a little bit. Threshold is set to 2.1, and then a little bit of delay. So just a hair of delay. If I were to turn the delay off, you can barely notice it. Only when I like turn it off, you hear that echo. But I find that this gives it a little bit more of a warmer tone. A little bit more of a bigger sound with the guitars. Hey, if you don't know me, my name is Eric Miller, and I help guitar players with music production. And I'm currently offering discovery calls. What discovery calls are is where we meet over Zoom for 10 to 15 minutes, and we talk about any thing you need help with regarding music production, recording, mixing, guitar work, songwriting. So if you'd like to schedule a discovery call, just click the link in the description below. It will ask you for your email, and then you can set up a time that works best for you. So I hope to see you inside a discovery call. All right, back to the video. Okay, so the third thing I want to talk about is the benefits of recording guitars this way. And the first thing that really comes to mind is that these tones are not set in stone. So I can easily pull up different amp sounds, and this is really the main reason that I did this. So if you're in the recording phase and you're not happy the next day with your guitar sound, you can change amps. So you know, here we have this, and I have the Vox sound for that lead tone, but what if I want to use something else? Let's try it. That's kind of cool, that Marshall sound. I could change out the amp right here. Let's go with like more of a Marshall sound. You know, so you can, depending on the style of music, you can instantly change it. I still prefer that Vox sound for what I was going for here, so I'm going to change that back. But you easily changeable sounds. You can, you know, change the plugins, you can change the effect pedals. So there's so much that you can do using virtual sims. The last thing that we can do, and this is something I have experimented with other recording studios, is you can actually reamp your sounds. Now this is a topic for a whole another video, but you can actually send a clean signal of your recorded guitar back out to your amp and then re-record it that way. So perhaps I'll do a video of that in the future, but that's another option, that if you have just your clean guitar sound that you've recorded, you can actually reamp it to your tube amp. So that's kind of cool. Okay, so just to recap, we talked about 3 different things. I let you hear the sounds of these amps inside of Studio One. Then I showed you how to set it up, recording one guitar track, and then copying and pasting that into another track, and then using 2 different amplifiers and then panning them right and left. And then lastly, we talked about the benefits of using amp sims. If you want to go deeper, I'm also putting a playlist into this video, so you can click in the link in the description below, and it's a playlist all about recording guitars. So there's several different videos in that playlist if you want to go deeper into this topic. Also, if you want to set up a discovery call, just click the link in the description below as well for that. And I will see you on the next video. Take care.